We're
Little.
Raven.
and.
There's no and!
My name's Raphael. I'm the singer and the guitar player.
I'm Kyle. I play drums.
And I'm Keenan, and I like to play the bass.
You just met my new friends, Little Raven, and you're tuned into the Mid Tenn Listens Podcast, MiddleTennesseeMusic.com. Your host, Joshua Smotherman. Let's jump into this interview, guys. You've already introduced yourself, so tell us where you're from or where you're based at and what style of music you create. And don't worry about traditional genre categories because I don't care. I want you to use your own words when you describe your
Nashville, Tennessee.
Mostly?
Mostly. And the style, what do you usually call it? The style?
If I'm conforming to recognizable genres, I usually call it alternative, indie, rock. That probably is a tough question for most indie bands nowadays. We've had some interesting ones. I mean,
we usually ask the audience to write down what genre they would call us, and we've gotten cork rock.
Yeah.
What was it? Jazzgrass.
Jazzgrass.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
The way I usually describe it is that we definitely have a bunch of different influences. Like there's a little bit of Latin, and there's a little bit of pop, and there's a little bit of rock, and there's a little bit of electronic, and
jazz.
Yeah, definitely jazz.
Folk.
Some folk, but we try to mix all of it into something that's accessible and that's interesting to us. We try just to mix everything in together into a pot.
Into a big old pot.
When I hear something that I like, I just want to do something like that. One day I'll be listening to the Mars Volta, and the next day I might be listening to Iron and Wine or some Ravi Shankar.
Or Coltrane.
Yeah, or Metal Tech.
Or Hank Mobley or Square Pusher or
Right.
any of the numerous Latin musicians I listen to constantly.
What led you guys down this path of music and what motivates you to keep it going?
We all went to school together in Boston. We didn't know each other at the time. These two knew each other. I didn't know them at the time. And then I moved down to Nashville in 2013 and got recommended to Raphael because he was trying to get this band together, and that was pretty much how we met, and we've been playing together ever since. How long has it been? 2
years.
2.5?
2
years? 2-ish? Okay. 2 years.
2 3/4.
2 3/4.
There we go.
2 1/4.
Magical number.
Keenan and Kyle really get all the little things that turn me on when I'm writing a song. And it's really nice. When I bring something in and I'm excited about it, they're excited about it too.
We get really excited during rehearsals.
It's a
good thing it's just an interview, because
crazy.
if you were seeing a rehearsal right now, you might think twice about sharing it on YouTube.
Yeah.
We definitely, our interests in music is really diverse, and we love really mainstream poppy stuff. We also like really obscure, weird, musically, artistically expanding stuff. And I think that we all kind of share this vision with this music that it seems like the trend of music now is becoming more and more like what's the quickest, catchiest way to grab someone's ear. And we all grew up listening to interesting music, and we know that a lot of other people, if we give them the chance to, they would like it too. So we want to draw more attention back to the really great melodies and lyrics that Raph brings, the really groovy and out of this country, like totally world beats that Kyle plays, and then my bass lines, which are humble for me, but I am influenced, by Ben Kenny of Incubus and Flea, of course, of Red Hot Chili Peppers, who guys that just like to play things a little bit outside of what you'd expect. So that alone we feel like is enough that motivates us to share this with people and be like, look, we got really interesting stuff and we think you're really gonna like it, and just give it a chance.
I always wanted to be part of something that was really original and create a sound that was different from anyone else's, and these guys are kind of willing to take that journey with me to try and find that sound, whatever that is, and it's exciting. And I don't know if we found it or if we're gonna find it or what, but
The long sojourn through the desert.
How's this new release that we're promoting for you guys right now? How is it different from the other stuff you've released previously? Were you trying to accomplish anything specific on this project?
Our last release was On Your Shoulder. It was a 3-song EP, and I started it while I was in North Carolina. So Kyle and Keenan are on it, but there are some other percussion players on it and some other vocalists, and it was kind of something that I pieced together with a lot of different samples and different people playing. And then this EP that we're working on now is all of us collaborating on the songs and writing our own parts. So The Code, which is out now on Bandcamp, and our next single, Falling Star, are the product of our collective creative input.
Insanity. Really.
Yes, Insanity.
Yeah.
Definitely everything has a more pop element to it versus the older stuff. Yeah, definitely a lot more pop melodies.
The stuff is more rock, kind of,
Yeah.
except for
Yeah.
the last song.
It's definitely more pop and rock.
Some might even say pop rock.
True.
It's not really pop
It's not pop.
at all.
Well, it is because everything is super catchy.
It's catchy, but not pop
Catchy.
catchy.
Yeah.
It's rock, but not
It's jazz, but
j-
it's not.
right.
And it's electronic, but it isn't.
It's kind of like if classical music was...
You had me.
Yeah. You had me.
Yeah.
You had me.
It's like if classical music was played entirely on electric instruments with one vocalist, and it wasn't classical music.
Did you
at
just say Von vocalist?
I
This
noticed
is
that
his
too.
German side
Von
coming out.
vocalist.
He actually, yeah.
Von vocalist. This is his name. Von vocalist.
Yeah.
all. Wie geht's? Wir
Nein.
heißen
Nein.
Little Raven.
This becomes a problem sometimes.
Do you guys face any challenges as independent musicians in this technologically oversaturated digital age? And on the flip side of that, because technology does help us, how does technology help?
This is a good question.
I want to answer the challenge part.
He's going to answer that.
Okay. Just as an observation of the state of things nowadays with artists and the need to share and grow an audience, but the limitations of that due to different social media platforms and how you have to, it almost feels like you have to buy your way into getting attention, which I guess you could argue it's always been like that in the entertainment industry. But I mean, on an indie level, you'd think that, well, it's more grassroots, so you're sharing it with people who appreciate DIY, from the ground up kind of projects and artistic endeavors. And so getting people's attention on social media, it's been a challenge, especially due to the limitations that it sets already on you.
Well, the record labels aren't really choosing for you what you get to hear, so there's just this enormous just white noise of bands and music, and there's so much incredible stuff, and it's really great in a lot of ways because a lot of things that you wouldn't have access to or that you would never hear, a lot of people who wouldn't be able to express themselves in the old industry model get to do that now, but you also have to fight this huge sound to be heard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But on the flip side,
On the flip side, recording is easier than ever
yes,
because of technology being what it is now.
sound is really good for really, really cheap.
Yeah.
Which is
And
kind of nuts.
And you don't have to wait for an A&R guy to walk into the Smoky Bar that you're playing in.
Yeah.
So you can create something and you can put it out there, and it's kind of more of an equal playing field. There isn't one guy with a lot of money who's deciding what you're going to hear. It's with Bandcamp and stuff like that, it's up to you to find stuff that you're into, and to be more active in looking for your music. If once that model takes over and people become more active and looking for what they want to hear, I think something really beautiful could come out of that. Maybe people will be more focused on what's happening locally.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
What is the best place for us to connect with you guys online so we can hear the newest music, the latest news, and catch the show dates for a chance to see you guys live?
Speaking of social media from earlier, we are all over that. We're on Facebook, Twitter. We tweet. We do tweet.
We tweet.
We
do the tweets.
We do the tweets.
Keenan mostly does the tweets.
It's fun. Well, it's interesting.
I'm kind of long-winded. I can't fit it into.
Yeah. That's tends to be my issue with it. But Instagram as well and YouTube.
Facebook.
We don't have a Tumblr or a Stumble Upon.
We have Bandcamp.
We have a Bandcamp.
Bandcamp.
Actually, Bandcamp is where you will hear, as we mentioned earlier, the On Your Shoulder EP and this new release, The Code, and you can download it.
Do we have a farmersdate.com profile?
I do. I have that.
Okay.
But obviously you have to be a farmer.
That's it's kind of it's a different vocation.
I make exceptions, but it's usually just.
You could be a farmer though.
Yeah. I could be a farmer.
Screw this out a little more.
A little bit more. Yeah.
Anything else you want to say or add before we sign off? And thanks for your time. I really appreciate it.
Yes.
One more time. Anything else before we sign off?
Like us.
Yes.
On Facebook.
Like us, because venues actually look at that nonsense.
They do.
Yes.
It's very important.
It's kind of superficial, and it seems like the silliest thing, but honestly, the likes, the follows, the views, all that does matter, if anything, for the sake of appearance. And
so hey,
like us on Facebook.
Facebook,
like
now,
and check out the code.
Check out the code
on YouTube, and download the single on Bandcamp.
Yes.
LittleRaven.bandcamp.com.
Yes.
Wait, was that right?
That was that was exactly right.
Yeah,
that was it. Oh. Thank you, Middle Tennessee Music Blog.
Thank you
for this. For allowing us to show you our lovable side, our eccentric side. Yoda especially thanks you.
Thank you, I must.
Bye.
Bye.
Indie rock.
It's a little late for that. Oh, well, we could.